Politics is a very interesting game. And just like I keep on saying on this platform, that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve specific political objectives. No coincidences in politics. There is no way we can have James Orengo talking, Junet Mohamed speaking, and Otiende Amollo speaking without any intended objectives. Junet Mohamed spoke on Friday. Junet Mohamed is a close ally of Raila Odinga. And I've said it here on this platform severally, that anytime you want to get the thinking of Raila Odinga on any matter, politically speaking, just pay attention to what Junet Mohamed is saying. Junet Mohamed spoke for Raila Odinga. And yesterday, James Orengo, another close ally of Raila Odinga, spoke. James Orengo is considered to be the legal advisor to Raila Odinga. I want you to pay attention to what James Orengo said yesterday, because it's going to form part of this discussion.
In this country, as Uhuru and Raila are talking about BBI, there is a cabal, and I'm saying this without a fear of contradiction. There is a cabal inside government who are busy trying to chart the way how Kenya will be ruled in 2022. Civil servants have no business at this time, when we have got the Big Four agenda, wherever they sit, to discuss and debate on a weighty political objective of how the succession is going to take place. And we saw it during Kibaki's time, even during the first Kenyatta's time. I urge these civil servants to be compliant and obedient to political institutions and constitutional institutions. Because what we have witnessed in the last 3-4 months, and I'm talking as somebody who have seen how government works, whenever civil servants who are part of a cabal try to chart the destiny of a nation for their own personal interests, there can never be any peace. So this is just a warning shot, because we are going to expose these people. They are trying to derail us. They have already declared in their mind who is going to lead, who is going to rule Kenya next year. And I'm telling them, you are sowing, you are reaping where you have not sown. You are reaping where you have not sown. Without Raila Odinga, you could not be planning that issue of succession. So listen to these two principles, Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. And Otiende Amollo and my colleagues in Parliament, we must expose a civil service that is doing politics. Even in BBI, they have led to the closure of the Secretariat so that they run the BBI project from government offices which are not given that authority. The last referendum that we had, it was Professor Anyang' Nyong'o of Kisumu and Kiraitu Murungi who are leading the process of the referendum. I therefore hope that this thing is going to be taken seriously, so that these institutions, the way they are behaving, even in elections, you've seen how elections have been held this year. That cannot be an election.
In fact, what James Orengo said yesterday came after I'd done another video on this platform about the same. And then Otiende Amollo also spoke. Another legal mind around Raila Odinga. So in this video today, I want us to look into details, the objectives which Junet Mohamed, James Orengo, and Otiende Amollo wanted to achieve by their statements. Because those statements were actually approved by none other than Raila Amolo Odinga. But before we do that, if you're watching this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button. And to the subscribers, please just give this video also thumbs up and drop your comments. Now let us get back to business. On March 18th, 2018, was it March 18th, 2018, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga shocked the entire country by entering into the handshake. Many people projected that this handshake was not going to stay, but it has stayed for close to 3 years now. Is it now the time for the handshake to collapse? Robert Alai, who is one of the highly credible bloggers in this country, uploaded something on his Facebook page and Twitter that it's going to mark the end of handshake, that the handshake is over. And then he told Kenyans to wait for the big announcement tomorrow, which is not today. And then later on, George Ladwa, who is the ODM chairman for Nairobi County, issued a statement or a letter or a notice of an intended meeting in Kibra today, Kamkunji grounds. Kamkunji grounds is historic. That's where Raila Amolo Odinga always retreats to whenever there are serious issues within his politics. But I'm told the Kamkunji meeting is going on. But Raila Odinga is not going to attend that particular meeting. But what do you think was the main objective of James Orengo's statement, Junet Mohamed's statement, and the statement by Otienda Molo? In my considered opinion, those statements were intended to achieve 5 objectives. The first one is about the Building Bridges Initiative politics. The truth of the matter is that Raila Odinga has done a lot for the handshake. In fact, when the handshake could not even be touched, Raila Odinga was the only politician who was talking about it. Even the president was not talking about it. So the president went to his people, MCS, and they were convinced to support this document. But at some point, the president invited Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, Gideon Moi, Charity Ngilu, and Moses Wetangula to State House to thank the county assemblies for passing that document. So basically, that meeting is what is causing all these things. Because the people around Raila Amolo Odinga feels very strongly that the intention of that meeting was to take away the credit of BBI from Raila Amolo Odinga and spread it to the rest of these other members. And the other issue around BBI is that there's a feeling that Karanja Kibicho is frustrating the Building Bridges Initiative process. He has refused to fund this project because this project is actually a government project. The secretariat, as we speak, is penniless. They don't even operate. And they're saying that when Raila Odinga received the signatures, Karanja Kibicho could not even, during the signature verification, and even when the signatures had been verified and Raila Odinga was receiving them from the secretariat, that Karanja Kibicho did not even release a single police officer to go to the venue. In fact, it is alleged that the people in the secretariat had to organize with a private event organizer to help them with seats. So they strongly believe that Karanja Kibicho is frustrating the Building Bridges Initiative process because he wants to control the process from Harambee House. That's the problem. And that's why James Orengo was talking straight on the issue of the Building Bridges Initiative process. That these guys are trying to hijack the process. So that's number one, the Building Bridges Initiative process. Number two is about Raila Odinga's trip to the coast and of course to Githurai, or the larger Mount Kenya region. A lot of intrigues are surrounding Raila Odinga's trip to the coast. Let me just take you back. In one of the videos here, I stated that Raila Odinga has finally decided to go outside there and consolidate his support base. This move by Raila Odinga is actually informed by the deep state, who are keen on doing one thing. They are keen on weakening Raila Amolo Odinga. The Msambweni by-election, I think I also mentioned that yesterday, was the wake-up call to Raila Amolo Odinga. They believed the system, the people around around Harambee House, who frustrated the ODM candidate. And then Raila Odinga then started embarking on consolidating his support base. But one of the key support base of Raila Odinga is the coast. Another one is Western Kenya. So in Western Kenya, what these guys are doing, they are trying to elevate the status of Musalia Mudavadi and the status of Moses Wetangula. And that's why Raila Odinga has unleashed Muhisa Kitui to checkmate Moses Wetangula. And in Kakamega, he unleashed Oparanya to checkmate Musalia Mudavadi. So Raila Odinga went to Western Kenya, but that was not the issue. The issue was the Matungu by-election. In Matungu by-election, the deep state really wanted Raila Odinga, the ODM party, to perform dismally. So the outcome of that election actually shocked them. That ODM candidate managed to get 10,000 votes. But deep down, the ODM people believe that the deep state frustrated their candidate also. That probably without the support of the deep state, they would have managed to win against ANC. But let me tell you the story about the coastal region. In coast, because if you take Western Kenya from Raila and you take away coast from Raila Odinga, then it means Raila Odinga will now remain with Nyanza. So it means when people are seated on a table, then Raila Odinga will be representing Nyanza. So Raila Odinga planned to go to the coastal region. He prepared everything. Then Raila Odinga wanted to start with Taita Taveta. The governor there didn't want that meeting to take place. But Raila Odinga insisted. So when Raila Odinga insisted, then the governor took over the program, according to the stories have been told. So while there, the governor frustrated some of the events because the local Raila Odinga grassroots network were not very happy with the involvement of the governor. So they frustrated some of the events Raila Odinga was supposed to attend, and Raila Odinga then did not attend those events. And even Dennis Itumbi alluded to this. Then the next event was in Kilifi. Another problem. In Kilifi, it is believed that Amason Kingi is being funded, his activities, or is being encouraged by the deep state. And let me get it from me. Amason Kingi has nothing to do with Tanga. He has nothing to do with Oda. But is getting support from Karanja Kibicho, according to these sources, so that coastal region can have a voice. And by coastal region having their regional kingpin, it means Raila Odinga will not be will not be representing them. So Raila Odinga went to Kilifi, and again, the deep state were disappointed because I'm told, apart from Ganze, the other areas, Kingi found it very rough. Then now there is Mombasa. Mombasa is fully under Governor Joho, and Joho is fully with Raila Odinga. So the coastal trip by Raila Odinga also is contributing to this, because these guys are realizing that kumbe there are people frustrating me while I'm trying to do these things. Number 3, why Orengo, Junet, and the rest made noise is because of this thing called One Kenya movement. You know, Kalonzo Musyoka, Moses Wetangula, Gideon Moi, and Musalia Mudavadi formed a team. And they named that team One Kenya Movement. This team has been receiving, according to sources, a lot of facilitation from the deep state. The deep state is funding this outfit. While that's happening, Raila Odinga then decided to start going outside. His first trip was to go to Mount Kenya region. It was thwarted. Then Raila Odinga decided that the best thing he can do is to go to Githurai himself. So when Raila Odinga embarked on this Githurai trip, leaders from the larger Mount Kenya region who were willing to accompany Raila Odinga were actually called and told not to join Raila Odinga. Before that, there was this trip by Raila Odinga, which was supposed to happen. The Kalenjin elder, the Kikuyu elders were supposed to host Raila Odinga. Again, most of them were called and told not to host Raila Odinga. While that's happening, President Uhuru Kenyatta was supposed to be in Githunguri today. Then, he's not there. Then Gideon Moi has now been reached out to go and represent President Uhuru Kenyatta at that particular event. So the question is, politically speaking, who should have represented President Uhuru Kenyatta in Githunguri? His handshake partner. Remember, when the BBI was being debated, the messaging from the larger Mount Kenya region was that they should dissociate the Building Bridges Initiative process from 2022. Then later on, it went further to distinguish it from Raila Odinga. So basically, it means the deep state wants other people to go to the larger Mount Kenya region because even Musalia Mudavadi had been facilitated and he went to Muranga successfully. But Raila Odinga, whenever he goes there, he's told, members of parliament are told not to accompany him. So it's a big problem down there, the Kenya One movement. Number 4, I think James Orengo and Junet Mohamed are also relaying a strong message to President Uhuru Kenyatta that Raila Odinga has options. He can go ahead and join William Ruto. Raila Odinga can go ahead and even pursue his politics away from the handshake. And that message is actually sinking. And that's why Raila Odinga has been called to call off the meeting in Kibra today. So basically, it's a message to President Uhuru Kenyatta. The biggest problems the people around President Uhuru Kenyatta are facing, because I said there are 4, but there's a powerful group which wants a compromise candidate. Their challenge is how to deal with Raila Odinga and how to deal with William Ruto. That's their biggest challenge. If they were to find a solution of how they can deal with Raila Odinga this side and push Raila Odinga to the other corner, then their candidate can squeeze through. I tell you, these guys can do whatever they want. But that's their biggest problem, that if they dump Raila, then what will happen this other side? Can he team up with Ruto? Or if Raila decides to run, Ruto decides to run, and they have their project, how is the outcome going to be? So they are dealing with those. And lastly, it also has to do with Raila Odinga succession politics. There are people around President Uhuru Kenyatta who are keen on imposing their preferred presidential candidate, Musalia Mudavadi, Gideon Moi, or even Kalonzo Musyoka. They are yet to decide. So they are experimenting with all these 3 guys who ideally can succeed in becoming the president with the support of the deep state. And this is something which is worrying Raila Odinga and his partners. Remember, so far, Raila Odinga has taken President Uhuru Kenyatta to Nyanza, to Coast, and to Western Kenya severally. Uhuru has never attended a joint event with Raila Odinga, apart from funerals in the larger Mount Kenya region. And these guys are saying that if we are going to leave power, then who is going to come in? Can that person work with us? That's what they are looking for. Of course, you must look for a weaker person, a person you believe you can micromanage. In fact, the biggest challenge the president is facing is that Karanja Kibicho was with Kibaki and is now with him. Karanja Kibicho has the files of ICC. He understands these guys. And that's why there's nothing. Karanja Kibicho we saw kicking William Ruto out of government, a deputy president out of government. And there was nothing the president could do. He's also doing now, like chasing Raila Odinga out of handshake. And Uhuru cannot do anything. Why? Because this guy was there during Kibaki era. He was there during Uhuru's first term. And now, he has the ICC files. He has other dark secrets. So it means he's a guy who Uhuru Kenyatta will just work with. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. But I want to ask a question. Do you think Raila Odinga presidential bid in 2022 can succeed without the support of the deep state? Back to you guys, and thank you guys for taking your time to watch this particular video. Thank you, and please may you have a good day.